4 seasons lost. In Austin I stalled, paused, my eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, focus reflected. Often veers a pit, quick, grit from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Sorry, I'm your host, Matt Clark. Sorry about yesterday, guys, and last night when after the storm, but got a little food poisoning and then got dehydrated. And so, ended up missing yesterday, missing the Thunder game last night. Didn't even get a chance to see it until the third quarter. So I had to go back and rewatch the whole thing so that I could get a feel for what happened during the game. But before all that, I want to give a shout out to Kyrie Irving. Hopefully he will get better soon. He tore his ACL last night, and he will miss the rest of the season. And, as a person who got hurt and had to miss a whole entire season, I can identify him with the knee injury, and I wish him a speedy recovery. He's definitely one of the greatest players ball handlers are definitely players that we have in the league, and so I'm giving my shout out to him for a healthy recovery, that he can get better soon. It'll be probably this time next year before he's back. He may be back before that, but there's only one Adrian Peterson who could tear his ACL and then come back in the length of time that he did, which was just absolutely insane what he did. But anyway, Kyrie Irving out for the rest of the season. The Mavs now are in a free fall for where they were and the expectations of what they could be. And then you look at Luka and what the Lakers are doing, moved all the way up to second. The Mavericks are now 10 with no AD, no Gafford, no Lively, and no Kyrie now. So they're pretty much out of contention for really anything, I think. This year they're done. And then the Lakers, of course, are surging. And so we'll see what happens. The Lakers have moved all the way up to number 2, which we will go over a lot of that. But anyway, the Thunder, of course, took care of business last night. And our guy, SGA. And the thing about SGA is this, very few teams get a chance to get a Kevin Durant. And then you turn around and you get an SGA. How many teams in this league, other than Boston and the Lakers, can say that you have, guys who will be in the top 10? And I'm not going to say SGA is a top 10 player. Kevin Durant clearly is a top 10 of all time, without question. He's going to move in the top 10. And then you get a SGA, a person who is unguardable, kind of like KD was. KD is what, 34, 5 or 6 or what he was. He's still unguardable. And SGA, I don't know if he'll be that because SGA is not 6 or 7 foot. It does what KD does, but to have a guy, a superstar of that magnitude, who can change games, who can finish games off for you, who can set other players up, but most importantly, can finish games for you to get you a W. The Thunder have gotten very fortunate that Sam Presti, of course, drafted KD when we were the Seattle Supersonics, and then, of course, he traded for SGA. So, and so that being said, you look at how lucky the Thunder are that they've got a chance to do that. And, you got to give credit to Sam Presti. He's the one that drafted KD, and he's the one that fleeced the Clippers, and the Clippers aren't the same. And Doc Rivers will tell you he did not want to get rid of SGA. He wanted to keep SGA, and they tried to convince Kawhi, but Kawhi wanted Paul George. We gave up Sabonis for Paul George, and we gave up quite a bit to get Paul George. And, of course, we got all of it back, plus the gift that is still giving since then. So when you look at SGA's stats this year, this is what he's done this year. And, of course, he had a 50-point game last night. and this is his fourth one. Now, since January 22nd, there has been 6 50-point games in the NBA. SGA has 4 of them. SGA has 4 of them. 4 50-point games, 50-plus points per game. He's had 4. 40-plus point games, he's had 9. 30-plus games, he's had 38. 20-plus games, he's had 59. Now, that's 59 consecutive. Okay, so he is, I think he's third right now behind Russell and KD. I think Russell is first, I think KD is second. But anyway, so that's where he's at right now as far as scoring. So I don't see him scoring under 20 points the rest of the year. I don't know if you guys think the same. I don't see him scoring under 20. I just don't. He had 20 in the first quarter last night. So now, of course, I didn't know all this until later. After I could watch the game, all I know is when I turned it on, he had 30 in the third quarter. The third quarter was basically ending. He had 30 points, and then he came back in and got what he needed to do. Got the rest of his points. And so, but like I said before, as SGA goes, sorry guys, as SGA goes, so goes the Thunder. If SGA is rolling, the Thunder is rolling. If SGA is not rolling, the Thunder aren't rolling. And, we've talked about this on After the Storm many times, which is our Thunder post-game analysis show. And this is how it works. If SGA is rolling, the rest of the team just relaxes. Because, once again, we do not have playmakers. We have guys who make plays. There's a difference. Playmakers are guys who, when the pressure's on, can make moves and create things for other people and also score themselves. That's not what we got. We have a playmaker, and then we got guys who make plays off of the playmaker. But once he's rolling, if you just pay attention and notice, when SGA is scoring, and he scored a couple times in a row, and he's got it going, or he scores 3 out of 5 times, or 2 out of 3 or 4 times, or something like that, you can just see the rest of the team just relaxes. And they just play. And when we relax and play, it's over. And like I tell people, I don't care if we're playing the Celtics. I don't care if we're playing the Cavaliers. I don't care if we're playing the Lakers. I don't care if we're playing the Timberwolves. I don't care who we're playing. If he's rolling and the rest of the team doesn't feel any pressure to have to make a play, we're not going to get beat. The Thunder are not going to get beat if you have to do that. Now, last night I had got a message from a guy, the commander, last night talking about how the coach is screwing it all up. And that's what Dagnall does. When he tries to coach, he tries to do what he does, it screws us up every time. He is the liability of this group. Because, like I said, who are the best 5 together that we play? It's SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, or Dort, preferably Wiggins, and then Chet or iHeart, and then K-Rich. So that's the 5. Those are the 7. When you're wanting to roll and there's an issue and you need to make a play, you get a lead. That's who you put in. J-Dub is not in that group. But yeah, Dagnall played J-Dub more minutes than SGA. Under no circumstances SGA should ever have somebody play more minutes than him. Remember, he's had 14 quarters, 14 times he has not even played the fourth quarter. 14 games he hasn't even played the fourth quarter. So I just don't understand. I see what Dagnall's doing. He's trying to promote J-Dub. That's what the Thunder are doing. That's why I hate watching FanDuel. Because J-Dub. I go, dude, J-Dub is not even one of the top 35 players in the league, and you're promoting him. You got the best player in the league. You're not even promoting him. I mean, I had to go get that stat off ESPN, off NBA TV. You can't get that stat off of the Thunder. That he has how many 50-point games, 40-point games, 30-point games, 20-point games. You have to get that off NBA, or you have to get that off ESPN, or you have to get that off TNT. You don't even get that off your own channel. Your own team don't promote the best player you got on the team. They're promoting somebody else. J-Dub, that's why I don't listen to him. Like, I'm tired of hearing about J-Dub. He's a nice 2B or 3A. That's what he is. He's not a guy who's going to consistently give you what you need to get you W's. He's going to have games here and there. I mean, you look at what Wiggins did, scored 40. And you look at what J-Dub did the other night, scored 40. Okay, that's great. But Let's look at SGA stats for a minute, okay? Now remember, he had 51, and I could go back and look at what the other guys had. But let's look at this for a second on his game stats. I mean, look at this for a second. This is how efficient he is. He was 18 for 30, 5 for 9, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block for 51. And he was only a +6. You heard me. 18 for 30, 5 for 9, 10 for 10, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, one block, 2 turnovers, 1 foul, and he was just a +6. That's why we talk about that plus minus all the time, how it drives me nuts, because I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Because when I look at some guys and they're a +3, and I'm like, he played great. How is he a plus something? I don't understand the plus minus. It makes no sense to me. There's a bunch of guys who didn't play ball and who don't understand it. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, I can look at somebody and I can watch a game and I can go, that guy had a great game, or that girl had a great game, whatever. I could just look at somebody and I could watch the game and say, oh man, they played fantastic. Or I could look at them and go, oh, that was an average game, or that was an okay game. But 18 for 30, 5 for 9. J-Dub was +13. He was 8 for 6, 4 for 5, 4 for 5, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. I'm sorry, excuse me. He was 8 for 16, 4 for 5 with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, +13. I thought J-Dub played okay. Now, the game before that, SGA had better numbers than J-Dub. J-Dub had 41. He was like a +6. I'm like, the dude should have been a +20. He played great. What are you watching plus minus? That's kind of how I look at it. And when you look at turnovers, J-Dub had 1 turnover. SGA had 2 turnovers. J-Dub played 32 minutes, SGA played 36. That's the way it should always look like. There should never be a time where they play the same amount of minutes or J-Dub plays more minutes than ever. It should be 4 to 5 minutes that SGA plays more than J-Dub. Why? You're a -3 with SGA on the bench, and you're +15, 16 with him in the game. And then you have him on the floor. You have somebody him. You have him on the bench, and have somebody else on the floor more than him. And you're -3, and you call yourself you're a great coach. Really? What are you looking at? So when you look at the stats, you look at Chet. 4 for 11, and Chet's still finding his way. This is his 8th game back or something. He's still finding his way. The one thing that I will say about Chet, stop trying to dribble the ball in traffic. You're 7 foot. This is not college. It's not high school. You can't do it. He's gonna get his pocket picked over and over and over. You're not a unicorn. You're a 7-foot guy who can block shots, who can shoot the 3, who can, handle straight up. But when you're trying to take somebody one-on-one and you're trying to go in traffic, dribbling that high at 7 foot, you're going to get stripped. You haven't played. He hasn't played long enough this year to figure out double teams coming, let me do the hop step and do a jump hook. He hasn't figured that out yet because he hasn't played enough games to get into some sort of rhythm where he can understand that. But until then, he's going to continue to try to take guys who are smaller than him one-on-one. They're going to pick his pocket every single time. And you see him slap his hands. Yeah, Chet, you're going to continue to get the ball stole from you. Derek White's going to pick your pocket. Drew Holiday is going to pick your pocket. All day long. You try to post those guys up, they're going to pick your pocket. Or not try to post them up, but take them out. Post the guys up, take them low, pass the ball out, get it back on the post, jump hook over them. Kevin Durant had the same issue. How does Chris Paul guard Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant had the same issue. You're 7 foot, get your ass down on the low post, catch the ball, turn around, jump over them. They're not going to block your shot. Go get an easy bucket. Now Kevin Durant does that. He don't try to dribble all or just post him up, turn around. That's an easy bucket. I'm 6 feet out. I'm going to turn around, jump over you. Now, what are you going to do? Nothing. Instead of trying to do all this other stuff, take him there. Pass the ball out, post up, turn around, jump over him. Take advantage of the little man. When I played, got a little guy on me, boom, kick it back out, give me the ball right back. I'm going to jump over you. What are you going to do? Nothing. I'm going to do a left-hand jump hook. I'm going to do a right-hand jump hook. I'm going to do a left-hand floater, right-hand floater, or I'm just going to turn around and dunk on you. One of them. What are you going to do? Nothing. You're 5'10", I'm 6'3". I'm going to post your ass up and I'm going to take advantage. And that's what Chet needs to understand. And that's what he needs to do. And if you can do that, that's great. Now, let's look at the Thunder's. Oh no, I'm not going to be on long tonight, guys. Long today, guys. I'm not going to try to push this. I need to get myself in shape. Here's the Thunder score last night. Rockets are now 37-24. The Thunder are 15-11, 137-128. Rockets 16 for 35. The Thunder 17 for 37. 48% from the field for them. 49% from the field from us. 49 rebounds each. 50 points. 50 points in the paint. 54 for us. 16 turnovers for them. 13 for us. They outscored us 41-32, which is a lot better than 75 the other night that we got outscored. So when you look at that, 17 for 37, those are great numbers from three, not shooting 59 threes, which is just ridiculous. Not something that we need to continue to do. So I liked what I saw from the Thunder when it came to that. Like I said, I had to go back and rewatch the whole game to figure out what all we did and what we did not do. Now, this is what we got coming up, okay? We have one game left against the Grizzlies, okay, Wednesday night in this group of 10. Remember, we do 10 games. So right now, we're 7-2 in these last 10 games. And one thing with Ja is, what is wrong with you? Throwing the ball up in the stands? What are you doing? Fine $25,000, and I laugh at a fine. What is $25,000? He's making $38 million a year, and you're fining him $25,000, which, of course, is a write-off. It's a write-off. You're fining him $25,000. He don't feel $25,000. That's like you getting a fine for a dime. You know you spent it, but you didn't feel it, or a penny. You spent it, but you don't feel it. You know that it was spent, but you don't feel it. So that's what we have on Wednesday again. And remember, we smashed them the last time we saw them. So you know they're going to be on us and after us big time, which is okay. But here's the next 10. And this is the 10 that really scares me, or that scares me, but has my attention. Okay? So, Friday night, we have a home game against the Blazers. And they've been playing well. Then Sunday, we have the Nuggets on ABC at noon Sunday, which of course we never have noon. We never have games noon. Remember, we all gripe about that. How do we not have early games so you can be done early? So we're getting our wish. We have a noon game against the Nuggets, which is going to matter. Then we have a back-to-back with them on Monday night at home at 7 o'clock on FanDuel. So hopefully I'll be at both of those games with the Commander. And by the way, Commander, your wife, Kimberly, sending me that video and then you sending it to me again. Thank you, bro. That really made me laugh. I mean, you know. Yeah, anyway, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but I think you know what I was going to say. So hopefully that person will not be at the game Sunday and Monday, so I don't have to, look at that. But basically what he did, he sent me a video of a woman dancing, and it wasn't the most attractive video that I've ever gotten. Okay, but at the time I needed it. It made me laugh, and I needed to see it, so I can't complain about that. So anyway, we got Monday night. We got the Nuggets again, and then we've traveled to Boston to get the Celtics. 6:30. That'll be on ESPN. Then we turn around, and then we play against the Pistons, and that's going to be a tough game. This is a tough 3-game series. I mean, when you look at it, we have 5 games. Okay, you have the Nuggets twice. You play the Celtics. The Blazers are not going to be a walkthrough, okay? But you got the Nuggets twice at home. You got to handle your home business. What are we now? 30-something and 25 and 4, 27 and 4 at home or something like that. But anyway, you have the Nuggets twice. You have the Celtics in Boston. You got to go to the Pistons, and the Pistons are winning games right now. Cade's got those guys, and the coach got those guys playing. So that's not going to be a cakewalk. They just beat Boston the other night. Then you've got the Bucks, who are playing well, and that Doc Rivers has got those guys playing well. So that's a tough out. Fortunately, Westbrook doesn't play for us anymore, so Dame is not going to take it out on us like he did every time he saw the Thunder. He would just kill us. So, but he still is going to do what he's going to do. And then we host the Sixers, and then the Hornets. So the Sixers I think the Sixers is on a Wednesday, I think, and the Hornets is Friday night, I believe. Anyway, so we have those 2 games, but that gauntlet we have to do. the Grizzlies tomorrow night, the Blazers on Friday, the Nuggets back to back, and then the Celtics, Pistons, Bucks. So when you look at what we got, hey Burgess, what's going on? Good afternoon to you too as well. So when you look at what we have, that stretch, this coming stretch, this let's say, let me see, let's say the Grizzlies, the Blazers, the Nuggets twice, the Celtics, the Pistons, and so this 7 game, and I'm not going to discount the Sixers. This 8 game stretch we have coming up. Because the Grizzlies want us, because remember, we spanked and beat the brakes off of them the last time we saw them. So they're going to want to get a little revenge on us. Again, we smashed them in Memphis. So they're going to smash us. So that's tomorrow. That's a revenge game for them. We need to hold up and do what we need to do against them. Then the Blazers, like I said, are not going to be a cakewalk on Friday. The problem I have with the Blazers is that we play the Nuggets back-to-back Sunday, Monday. Are we going to overlook them because we play the Nuggets on Sunday, Monday? Okay? Because you know how that can happen very easily, where you can overlook an opponent simply because you have a tough game coming up. It happens all the time. It happens in football, especially when you've got a game and you got somebody coming up. It's hard to overlook, especially when games are a week apart. And you've got a tough game on Sunday, and then the following Sunday you got a match against somebody that's in your conference or whatever. So that's a hard thing. That Portland game worries me. The Blazers game worries me a little bit, simply because it's right before we play the Nuggets. Now, after that, the Nuggets are going to have our full attention both games. The Celtics are going to have our full attention both games. If we overlook the Pistons, we will get beat. So they have to have our full attention. And the Bucks have to have our full attention. And every time we play teams that don't have all their players, like Houston last night, we struggle. And they always have somebody who, like Reed Shepard, what he did last night. They always have somebody who does what they do. But as it comes up, this is what the Thunder have to do. They'll have our full attention against the Nuggets and the Celtics. The Pistons is in between the Celtics and the Bucks. You have to have our full attention. So when you look at these games, in 9 days, we have 7 games in 9 days. Or in 10 days, 12 days, sorry. And if you go back, you have 6 games in 9 days. 6 games in 9 days. That's 6 or 7. That's 3. Yeah, that's 6 games in 9 days. That's going to be a tough stretch. But the bottom line is, what you have is you got to handle the Grizzlies, and you got to do one of them a game at a time, because we are 50-10, 50-11. So you got to handle this game. Then you got to turn around and you have the Blazers on Friday. That's a home game. You got to be able to handle that and not work past them to the Nuggets, just thinking, oh, we're going to smash the Blazers. We beat the brakes off them every time. That's when you throw a game. And now, like I said, that game Friday night worries me. Then you turn around and you have the Nuggets on back-to-back, then the Celtics, then the Pistons, then the Bucks. So what does that mean for the Thunder? Well, basically what it means for the Thunder is the Thunder are going to have to stay focused, and it's one game at a time. Forget looking at the schedule. We have the Grizzlies Wednesday. They want revenge against us for what we did to them, so handle that. Then on Friday, you have the Blazers. So you look ahead, okay, we got the Blazers. You can't look at what you got on Sunday, Monday, because those are important games. But you can't look at that. You can't look at that. You got to go, okay, this is what we have. This is where we're at. This is what we're doing. And if you can stay focused on those things, you're going to be okay. Because when you look at the standings right now and currently, and this is what I'm saying, guys. This is why I'm saying this. Because when you look at the standings and where we are, this is why it's important, okay? This is what I'm trying to say to you. This is why it's important. The Nuggets are 11 games back. So we have the Nuggets twice, which we'll be done with them. Then we have the Lakers twice on back-to-back, or I think we have them in back-to-back games, but it's every other night, not back-to-back, night to night. It's every other night. So you've got the Lakers twice. We've got the Nuggets twice. We have the Grizzlies 2 more times. Sunday, we have 1 more time after this. Then we have the Rockets 1 more time after. We have the Rockets once more. So when you look at this, I think we have the Mavericks twice. But I don't worry about them because, they're falling. But you got the Lakers at home twice. That's going to be huge. You have the Nuggets twice at home. That's going to be huge. You have to handle your business at home. You have to go 4-0 at home. You have to. And remember, the Nuggets are back-to-back nights. The Lakers are a Sunday, Tuesday, I believe, or I think it was a Sunday, Tuesday. I think it's Sunday, Tuesday when we play the Lakers, if I remember correctly. It's not back-to-back. It's back-to-back, but not back-to-back nights. So that's what you have to look at. You have to handle your business against the teams that are sitting there surging. Now, we can look at this and go, well, we're 11 games ahead. Yes, we are. We're 11 games ahead, and that's fine if you want to look at it that way. And then when you look at what we are since the All-Star break, okay? Since the All-Star break, we have we have lost one game. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, what is that? That's 5, 6, 7. So we're 6-1 since the All-Star break. And remember, Nathan and I had talked about this on After the Storm, that we needed to go 22-6, 25 and 23-5, something around there to really solidify where we are and who we are as a team. And right now we're 6-1 with 21 games left. So we're going to be okay if we continue this. But this next road, like we talked about coming up, you got the Lakers twice, you have the Nuggets twice, you have the Grizzlies twice. Well, you have the Rockets one more time. And I think the Clippers once more. But when you look at that, we're sitting here okay, but you have to be able to handle your business this first weekend. But it starts with what? Not overlooking the Grizzlies tomorrow. Then you've got the Trailblazers who aren't in the top 10 at all, but they're playing pretty good right now. So you have to watch out for them, and you got to win that because why? You have the Nuggets. So if you overlook the Blazers on Friday, we're going to get beat. And then you're going to have a loss. So continue where we are. We have a 4-game winning streak. So we should be able to win 5 and 6 going into the Nuggets series. Because you look at Cleveland. One thing Cleveland, the difference between us and Cleveland is simple. They're handling their business, and they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat. That's what the Thunder have to do. We struggle, though, against teams that aren't as good as when they're sitting their players. Like last night against Houston. They're sitting 4 starters. It's a struggle. Burgess says 8 more wins lock us up at number 1. With that being said, do you start looking at resting players or keep experimenting with the lineups? I no more experimenting with the lineups. I mean, to me, it's really simple. What you have to do now, Burgess, you have to lock in what you're doing. You can't say, okay, I'm going to do 8 more wins and then I'm going to sit players, because if you do that, then you're not going to have any momentum going into the finals. So 8 more wins, when you look at our schedule, let's go back to that to answer his question, okay? Andrew Burgess' question. We're going to go back up to our schedule, okay? Where is it? Let me see. Here we go. Okay. If we only need 8 more wins, okay, you got to figure Grizzlies should be a W, Blazers should be a W, both Nuggets wins, both Nugget games at home should be a W. So that's 4. Celtics, maybe a loss there in Celtics. Pistons on the road, you need to win that one. That's 5. The Bucks, let's say we want to pay them back, so that's 6. Sixers, we should be able to, that's 7. Hornets for sure 8. And then you've got the Clippers, that's 9. So out of your next 10 games, you should get at least 8. Okay? So to me, I don't want to experiment. I'm tired. I know after, what are we now? 50 and 11? After 51 games, there's 61 games, you know what your lineups are. You know who's good. You know what you're doing. And you can see that what happens is he's playing SGA with the lesser group. And by doing that, he's playing J-Dub with the group he should be playing with SGA. That's Kaysen, that's Caruso, that's Wiggins. Like the other night, he had J-Dub, Chet, and Ihart, and Wiggins, and K-Rich on there, and had Dort on that time. Like, so you're playing your best group with J-Dub because why? Because when J-Dub's on the floor, SGA's off the floor, we're -3. So you're trying to cover J-Dub. And then when you put SGA in a game, you've got him on the floor with K-Rich and with Dort. Like I said before, Ihart and J-Dub play great together. Chet and SGA play great together. Instead, you're playing Chet with Jada with Jada and iHeart with Jada with SGA. It should be flip flopped that. But why are you doing that? Because one, you're trying to build chemistry with those two. Number one. Number two, what you're trying to do is you're trying to cover Jada. That's what he's doing. I mean, he's not fooling me one bit. I see right through what the hell he's doing. He's trying to cover up Jada because when you have him on the floor with Kaysen, uh, Caruso, Wiggins, or yeah, he had Kaysen, Caruso, Jada, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins. Excuse me, it was Kaysen, Wiggins, uh, Jada, Kaysen, Wiggins, iHeart, and Chet. I don't want iHeart and Chet playing together like that. I want them on the floor because then you put J Will with SGA because you played Chet and iHeart together. No, but that's what he's doing, covering up Burgess. So to me, you can't experiment. You know what the hell your lineups are. And here's these, no matter what he tries to do, here's the truth. If SGA is rolling, everybody else is rolling. When SGA goes to the bench, no matter how he tries to cover up against really good teams, J-Dub is not a number two. Or excuse me, he's not a number one if you want to count it that. He's not that. But he tries to play him number 1 minutes like he does SGA. Can't do it. Burgess, I feel as continuity should be the goal, determined based on playoff matchups, what your consistent lineups will look like based on matchups. Yes, 100% Burgess. Because if you have consistent lineups and you know who plays together, it's like I've said many times, the analogy that I give. If you have a bartender, you have two bartenders who play together, who work together, and then you put in another bartender, it screws up their continuity. They're going to bump into each other because they're not used to the movements. That's why it's important that you put the right lineups together to play together so you know what the feel is. And the more you play together, when the playoffs, it'll be because they know, boom, we're with this five, you with this five. Now, what someone's argument to that is, well, people are going to know what you're doing. They can combat that. How the hell are you going to combat something you can't stop? We're cutting down on turnovers. I mean, I don't think we've had any team more than 13 turnovers, 14 turnovers in a game. We got to get back to 17, 18 turnovers, guys. We win because of defense. And Wiggins right now, he's playing less defense and trying to score more. Well, that's fine if you want to do that, but defense is what's going to win us games, not his offense. You let SGA roll, you let him shoot three-pointers and quit trying to take people off the bounce, and let him stand there and catch threes and shoot. That's what you do. That's what he's good at. That's where we are. And if you try to change that up, it's going to screw up what you're trying to do. And against what? We don't have to worry about the Mavs right now. But that's what happens. You worry about the teams who understand his coaching philosophy, and they know what he's going to do. He's going to sit SGA 2 minutes too long. He's going to play the wrong lineup 2 minutes too long. They know that, and they take advantage of that. That's when we get beat, when he does that, every single time. Let's take a quick break. I want to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit our guys up over there. Mark Long would love to take care of you, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county. Call those guys up because, as we always say, who the hell does not like clean drinking water? Oak Grove Trucking, my guy Jose Ferrer. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guy up. He will take care of you. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912, the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses. In the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Also, you can go into the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB Eastwood is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there. Garth Brooks, can't miss it. And then, of course, YNB Peoples, located on 23rd and Bethany between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. And, the thing they always reminded me of, remember, pick your best for your best. Always remember that. And that's a guy. If a guy, you got a girl, go get some of their cologne and smell their perfume. It is fantastic. If you're a woman, Go get some of their male cologne. It's their men's cologne. It smells perfect. It smells really good. I've got 3 bottles, and I have zero complaints. It is magnificent. You can go into their main counter in one of their 6 or 7 locations. Penn Square Bank, Penn Square Bank, Penn Square Mall. I see my girl Beth over there, the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall, Wichita, Oak Park Mall in Kansas City, and Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, South Plains Mall in Lubbock, and Westgate Mall in Amarillo, which I've never been there, so I don't know what that's about. But anyway, you can go there. So, but anyway, back to what we were saying. What Burgess, what you said, J Dub is improving in movements. He ain't there yet. I do feel the coaching staff is trying to expedite player development based on the minutes management. Yes, 100%. That's what they're doing, Burgess. That's 100% what they're doing. They are trying to develop him and develop the other players. It's 100%. It's exactly what they're doing. Because what they're trying to do is not be SGA dependent. They're trying to be a team. Well, that's fine. Get you more players who can play. You should have got Cam Johnson. He can do that. You don't have him. You've got you got B minus, C plus, C players is what you got that you're trying to make into B and A players. It's not going to happen. But that's what he's trying to do. But he's putting the least group around SGA and the best group around J-Dub because he's trying to hide J-Dub. That's what he's doing. Plain and simple. Because as you know, Burgess, our boy Hotspot Casino called A.J. Mitchell out. Did he not? He told us about A.J. Mitchell. Remember? And A.J. Mitchell's a beast. And you weren't on board. I wasn't on board, but he was right. A.J. Mitchell makes all the difference with J-Dub so that J-Dub doesn't have to handle the ball. Now they're going to treat J-Dub just like they do SGA, except he doesn't have the ball handling skills. He doesn't have the sight to be able to do what SGA does. He's not there. He's not that kind of player. He's a 2B, 3A player. He's not a number one, and he's trying to develop him into one. And then he's trying to put him around players that can help him be the best player in that group. He's not. But that's what they're trying to do. Yes, definitely, Burgess. Hotspot called it. 100% Hotspot Casino called him. Called A.J. Mitchell, the guy. I don't know if you guys know this, but on After the Storm, we have a great chat with people. Our After the Storm chat is significantly better than our daily chat here. It's more diversified, and we have this guy called Hotspot Casino, and he comes on, and he was telling us about A.J. Mitchell right at the beginning of the year, and I'm fighting it. Burgess was fighting it. Nathan was fighting. We're like, okay, whatever. And he was 100% on about A.J. Mitchell. Now, Dagnall had tried to play A.J. Mitchell and SGA together, and we're like, what the hell, you got 2 ball handlers. What are you doing? That doesn't work. And then first A.J. was trying to take the ball away from SGA, and then realized he went to the basket. I'll never forget this. He went to the basket, and SGA was looking for the ball, and he went by. SGA just looked at him. What the heck? Look who you playing with, bro. You're a rookie. Give me the ball. And after that, A.J. Mitchell started capitulating and started giving SGA the ball and quit trying to be one-on-one. That's the way he plays with J-Dub. He can do that with J-Dub, but when you got SGA on there, those two don't match. So I didn't know what the hell Dagnall was doing there. Like, what are you doing? Those two don't match. So anyway, when you look at it and you see what those two are doing, not having him on, but what those two did together. AJ, man, I think we get AJ Mitchell back the 6th, the 4th, April 4th or something like that is when we get him back. I know in a couple weeks from now is when they're definitely going to evaluate him. I think it's 2 more weeks and he gets evaluated. And then 12 weeks is April the 4th or whatever, which is right when the playoffs are about to start. So we'll get him back in time, hopefully for him to be ready. And I think you get him back, that changes what we do. But then you gotta assimilate him back into the lineup, which I think is going to be kind of hard for us to do. But that being said, you can do it. But we'll see how that works. But anyway, the Thunder have a nice 10-game road trip, 10-game span coming up. That they've got an 11-game thing coming up. And remember, one game at a time, guys. Don't get ahead. But like I said, Memphis tomorrow, they want us. Friday night, the Blazers. I'm afraid of that game because we've got the Nuggets Sunday, Monday. So that Friday night game scares me simply because we beat the brakes off them every time we see them. But knowing that we've got the Nuggets and where the Nuggets are sitting, That game worries me that we overlooked them. It worries me. Now maybe I'm by myself and it doesn't worry you guys, but that game against the Blazers worries me. It really does because of the simple fact of what we have coming up after that. Because we have those two games are coming up on Sunday, Monday, then turn around and have the Celtics on Wednesday, and then the Pistons on Friday. So those games worry me. Okay, those games worry me because of the simple fact of what you have coming up and what the Thunder can and can't do. So those games worry me a little bit, but I think we should be fine. But like I said, one game at a time, Thunder. Tomorrow night, let's handle our business against Memphis. Excuse me. Then Saturday, Friday night, let's handle our business against the Blazers. And then you have the Nuggets at home twice. And you saw, like I said, we have the Nuggets at home twice, and we have the Lakers at home twice. So the number 2 and 3 seeds behind us, we have them at home 4 times. You have to handle your home business. And if you think Luka's not going to come at us with LeBron, yes. And remember, I believe it's a Sunday, Tuesday. And the Nuggets want to get us. So right there, if you lose those 4 games, that's 4 games. Now all of a sudden you're up 7. Or if you lose the game against Blazers, then you're up 6. So it could go down quickly. But like I said, handle your business at home. Let me see what are the Thunder. Let me see if I can pull this up. See what the Thunder are at home right now. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna try to pull this up. Where are we? Oh, it doesn't give us on this. I want to say the Thunder are like 26-4 at home or something like that. 25, 26-4, and you got to be able to handle your home business. You got to be able to take care of home. So that's one of the things that we have to do. But once again, like we're talking about Burgess, it's about the coach. And when he plays certain lineups, and like I got the message from the commander last night, he plays certain lineups, he hurts us. He hurts us. He has to stop and go because he has all the metrics in front of him. But being a developmental coach, and like they said, well, he's the coach. We're 11-2 or whatever we were in February. He was the coach of the month. Okay, SGA was the player of the month in November, player of the month in December. Jokic was the player of the month in January. I don't know who the player of the month in February was. But all I know is you look at what SGA is doing. And I'm sorry, coach, this is really simple. You are a negative with SGA on the bench. You're a positive 15, 16 with him in the game. But yet you continue to sit him for 7 minutes in the second quarter and 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're experimenting. He's still experimenting with lineups, and he is 2 minutes too long. It's really simple to what we have to do. SGA has to play. And as SGA rolling, when he has 30 points, why are you sitting for so long? He has 20 points in the first quarter. We had 10 as a doing. We were down by 1. He had 20 of our 30, and we're by 1. And then you sitting for 7 minutes in the second quarter. I mean, no other coach except the one that the Thunder have will sit SGA for that long. He's the best player in the league. Nobody's sitting one of their best player for 7 minutes. And you're a minus with him on the bench and you're sitting for 7 minutes at a time and he's rolling. Most players, when players are rolling, which is why Kevin Durant left, because of Billy Donovan. He's rolling and you take him out the game. When your best player is rolling, you keep him in the game, you let him play because he's hot. You sit him maybe 4 or 5 minutes, boom, come on, let's go, you're rolling. And then he is the SGA cooler. Because he is determined this is how my system is going to work. Same stuff that Billy Donovan did. And like I said before, had Billy Donovan not been a first-year coach, Kevin Durant would have still been here. But because of him making his stand, I'm the coach, you're going to do it this way, we lost KD. It's really simple, guys. You have a best player in the league, MVP. The Thunder do not promote him. I gave you stats that I didn't get from the Thunder. Those are stats the Thunder should be promoting. Every time you turn around, SGA this, SGA that. Remember Russell? Every time you turn around, Russell Westbrook this, Russell Westbrook that. That's all you ever saw. Because they were promoting him. They promote J-Dub now. The NBA promotes SGA. The Thunder do not. They promote J-Dub. That's why I don't listen to FanDuel. I can't stand him. I'm like, dude, you have one of the best players in the league, if not the best, and you don't promote him. You promote a guy who we all like. ESPN likes J-Dub. I like J-Dub. Everybody likes J-Dub. But you're promoting J-Dub over SGA? Come on, man. I gave you stats you do not see on FanDuel. How? How am I doing stats they're not doing? It's frustrating to me because we have the talent. We have everything you need. Now, to me, you're going to win on the defensive side of the basketball. Here are the Thunder stats right now, okay? This is how, if you're going to win a chip, this is the way you're going to win it. Plain and simple, okay? This is how you're going to win it right here. This is how, if you want a chip, this is how you're going to win it right here. We're averaging 119 points. We're now fourth. And by the way, we're averaging more points than anybody since the All-Star break. Our opponents, 106.8. That number's going up. You gotta take care of business there. Field goal percentage, we're holding our opponents to 51.4. We're first. 3-point percentage, we're 33.9 first. Free throw percentage, we're 82.4, which is now what other teams are shooting. I don't know if that really matters, but we're shooting 82.4. Assists, we are only giving up 24.6 assists per game. That ranks us fifth. Pips, points in the paint. And you look at that stat right there. Pips, points in the paint. You know, that's my stat. 42.5. We're number one. Steals, we're number one in taking the ball away. And then we're number one in taking care of the ball. 6.6. That means teams stealing the ball from us. Blocks, we're fifth. 5.6 blocks per game. Turnovers, 11.6. That's us. We only turn the ball over that many times. But we turn the opposing team over 17.5. That's still first. Offensive rebounds, we're 23rd. And somebody goes, oh, that's terrible. Rebounding that is our Achilles heel, no doubt. But at the same time, we were 29th and 30th. So 7 points, 6 points, 6 jumps, 6 spots, that's huge for us. But, once again, we got to be bigger. And then second quarter, we're scoring 30 points a game in second quarter. Our opponents, we're ninth at 27.5. But where we win the game is in the fourth quarter, 25.7, only giving up 25.7 points per game in the fourth quarter. Those are the things that are keeping the Thunder number one, and you got to keep those up. Defense travels. No matter what what offense does, defense travels, which is my thing with Wiggins. Quit making him go back to playing defense, bro, and knocking down threes, please. When you look at his stats, 11.4 points per game, 49% from the field, 38%, 39% from three. SGA, 32 points a game, 52% from the field, 37% from three, 89% from the line. J-Dub, 21 points per game from the field, 47% field goal percentage, 36 from three, 78 free throw percentage. And his numbers are going up. Thank God he's making free throws. Chet, 15 points a game, 49.5. Okay. 50% shooting, but 49.5. 35 from three, 75 from the line. And Wiggins, like we just went over his numbers. Hardenstein, 10.9 points per game, 57% from the field. Still hasn't made a three. But the stat that worries me, 65.5. That worries the hell out of me because I can promise your team's going to foul him in the fourth quarter. So what that tells me in the fourth quarter, you're going to have SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Kaysen, and Dort, or Kaysen and Caruso and Chet. You're going to have one of those. And the three guys you're going to have on the floor at the end are SGA, J-Dub, and Chet. And then you mix whomever. But the problem with iHeart is if he's only shooting 65% from the free throw line, can you really have him in there late games? When every possession matter, points matter. That's the thing that scares me right there. It just does. Kaysen's numbers are coming up. 6.1 points per game. Excuse me, 7.9 points per game. 42% from the field, 33% from three. Even though those look low, those are high. Everybody forgets where he started. So that's the way I look at it. And the Thunder, like I said, you got to start with tomorrow night. You got to handle your business, and we'll talk about that tomorrow on the show. But you got to handle your business against Memphis tomorrow night. They want us, and like I said, I think he's ran his race. He is. I don't know what happened to the kid, but he's lost millions and millions and millions of dollars because of his attitude and his dad. So the time for Ja is going to be, and his dad are going to be pretty much gone here before too long. He's not going to make it unless he changes who he is and his attitude. He ain't going to make it. He's really not, and it's sad because where he was and who he is now are not the same. Wiggins and Case's surge in scoring is important. Well, Burgess, my argument with that is Case's defense is still there. He's not trying to take people one on one and do things that Wiggins is. And I don't like that. I want Wiggins to go back, hey, catch the ball, shoot the three in rhythm. And if you can take somebody one on one, it's easy if you're making a cut to the basket or something like that. But when you're trying to actually score with somebody one on one, how many times has he actually taken somebody one on one and scored versus missing? He's maybe 30%. He doesn't really have the handles. He doesn't have the game. And my problem with Dagnall is, why the hell didn't you do this last year and the year before and the year before when we're screaming for Wiggins to play more? Why the hell didn't you start this then? Because then he would be better now. But you're waiting until now to give him the green light towards the end of the season? Why the hell didn't you give him the green light at the beginning of the season? Why didn't you do it last year? We were all screaming, were we not? I know I was. The commander was. Nathan was. We're all screaming. Screaming. And now you're trying to do it. And all I'm saying is now your defense is going to suffer. Let him focus on defense and score. And here's my deal. If the Thunder want to win, it's really simple. Let SGA cook. Let everybody else relax. Play the right lineups together. Put J-Dub on the bench for those 3 to 4 minutes, 4 minutes or whatever it is, like in the first quarter. You bring him out at 5-minute mark. You sit him for 5 minutes. We make a run. We have the lead going into the second quarter. You let him roll to about 6-minute mark. When it breaks up, you bring SJ in for the 6-minute mark. Take him out for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then we make a run. And you bring him back in. We close him out. Third quarter, we make a run. We lead the NBA in third quarter plus minus. Why? Points per differential. Why? Because J-Dub's on the bench the last 5 minutes. It's real simple. It's not rocket science. So that's my problem, Burgess, with Wiggins and Kaysen. Kaysen is not trying to, he's just playing within what's given to him. Wiggins is trying to add to his game. And it's going to cost us, like I said, when he has to try to make plays in the fourth quarter and he's missing shots, and those are possessions. In the playoffs, 5 to 7 possessions less a game. It matters. It just does. And people will understand that when we're losing. You'll understand what I'm trying to tell you right now. Possessions matter. You can't give away possessions in the second and third quarter. They're going to cost you in the fourth quarter. Because instead of you being up by 6 or 8, you're going to be up 3 or 2 or 1 or down 1 because you gave away possessions. You can't do it. You can't give away possessions early in games because it will hurt you in the fourth quarter because you get less possessions. The game is more physical. So to me, it's really simple, Dagnall. Just go with what you go. You know what wins. SGA rolling, everybody else relaxing and playing. Once again, we have one playmaker and we have the rest of the guys who make plays. They're not playmakers. Wiggins is not a playmaker. J-Dub's not a playmaker. Chet's not a playmaker. Casey's not a playmaker. Caruso's not a playmaker. Ihart's not a playmaker. None of those guys are playmakers. They're guys who make plays. We have one playmaker, and that's it. And that's all you need. And you need guys who play off of that. So when Dagnall understands that and gets that down, we're going to be unstoppable no matter who we place. If he tries to change lineups and he tries to do anything different than what we've been doing, we're going to get beat again. And until they get him some veteran coaches that go, hey, coach, we have to change up. This is what we need to do because the guys have been there before. That's what Boston did. That's what the Lakers did. The first thing they did is hire J.J. Redick and give him veteran coaches on the bench. It's one of the first things they did. Give me veteran coaches to help him coach. And everybody credits J.J. Credits assistant coaches. Those are guys who are making the wins. Those are guys who are getting the W's. Hey, man, this is what's happening to play them because they've seen it all. They know how the league works. That's not who the Thunder have. Sam Presti did great in doing two things: improving our inside presence with iHeart and improving our perimeter defense with Caruso. He did nothing to the coaching staff because that's what they believe. Okay, that's fine. But it's going to cost you when stuff gets tight and things happen and you don't have coaches who understand the game and who understand situations because they've been there, it's going to cost you. Because this guy's going to have his attitude about what he does. It's going to cost you. Against good teams. Against these teams, not so much. But it's going to cost you. So, Trent, how many games in the series against the Lakers for playoffs? 6 or 7. 6 or 7. And my deal is this, Trent. It's going to depend on one thing. If we don't give away a game, we'll beat them in 6. If we give away a game, it's going to be 7. Or we're going to lose. Because with him changing up his coach, because things get tight, and he changes his coaching philosophy, and he changes with his lineups. He does something dumb like that, and he plays J-Dub as many minutes as he plays SGA, and he doesn't take him off the floor in the fourth quarter for a couple minutes. Like last night, he took him off the floor for a couple minutes. What happens? Boom, boom. You have to take J-Dub off the floor for a couple of minutes in the fourth quarter. You take him out at 6-minute mark, or 7-minute mark, you bring SJ in. You're sitting for 2-3 minutes to bring him back in at the 4-minute mark. And that's got the Thunder will win. But if you leave him in, because we excel when he's on the bench with that group. If he does that, we won't get beat. Let me see. What is the commander saying to me? I'm done with you, man. I'm done with you. I'm not even going to repeat what he sent me. Trent, so that's what I think, Rashawn. But Mark has been coach for 5 years. Yes, and he hasn't changed his thing. Don't give LeBron and Luka a game 7. I agree, Trent. That worries me. Giving them a game 7, it worries me because LeBron can go strong. But this is the thing. If we play the Lakers in the finals, which if they're a 2-3 seed right now, which is where they stay, if we play them in the finals, the chances of beating the Lakers go up because LeBron, he will have to go 7 games, 6 or 7 games in the 2 series before. And he will not be able to have, he's 40-something. One thing about age is undefeated. He will not be the same. Because remember when the Lakers went to the finals a couple years ago, the Western Conference Finals? He was worn out by the finals because they got beat up. He doesn't have the legs to play the way, even though he's got Luka. He's still going to have to play these minutes. Then he's got the playoffs, which he's going to have to play a bunch of minutes. And if he has to go 6-7 games in the first round, 6 or 7 games in the second round, then have to play us, he'll be done. That's my point. I don't think he's going to be able to handle it. I think he will run out of gas because he's 42. Other than that, Lakers in it. But I agree. Mark Daigneault has been a coach for 5 years, Rashawn, and he coaches the way he coaches. Because he's 2 minutes too long, it affects his lineups and it affects the flow of the game. But he's tremendous at getting play on an out-of-bounds play, getting us a bucket, and he's tremendous at developmental. That's what he is. 5 years, it's nothing. That's what I've seen. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. So y'all be good. Everybody have a fantastic day. Get some rest. Stay out of trouble. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the Unpopular Hour, and then, of course, tomorrow night after the Memphis Grizzlies and Thunder game. All right?